I'm James Helder. Welcome to episode 2 of Not For The News. I'm joined by my esteemed panel, the little introduction, none other than controversial King Leon Knight. What's happening, Leon?
What's happening?
I hope you ain't been too controversial. You look like you're joining us from Wano, lad. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just here, bro. I'm here. I need to get some lighting. Last time I looked kind of like, you know what I mean? I was in jail or something. But yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, no, I like that. You've stepped up to Cat 2 now. Appreciate that. Joined by the bacon, egg and mushroom king, Curtis Woodhouse. How are you, son? Honoured by the Queen, and we're honoured to have you with us. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Rushing around this morning, but yeah, good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, like that. I like that. Let's get right into the action. I want to talk about Manchester United and Ten Hag. Is he the man to make them the force they once was? Seem pretty flat at the moment. A lot going on in the background. What are you thinking about it all, Nighty? What are you saying?
It's gonna take time, innit? He ain't just gonna get there and it's all gonna click into place. It's gonna take time. He's got a good pedigree. You know, it's always gonna be hard when you're going into Manchester United because you're comparing. They're always gonna compare you against Alex Ferguson. So it's gonna be hard. Like I said, if they've got the patience, the board and stuff have got the patience. He's got the pedigree. So if he gets the right people in, and you know he gets the structure and he gets the team, you know, believing in what he's preaching and practicing, then I don't see why not. Because like I said, everybody else is talking about him. You know, I don't really know much about him, but you know, if you put his name about and everyone goes, you know, he's top drawer. So it's time for him to prove it now. He's going to be at an absolutely massive club, and it's just time for him to get to work, really. But I think you got to give him time. You can't just expect him to go in there in first season, win trophies and this, that, and whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's a building process. It's similar to Arsenal, really. You know, you lose Arsene Wenger, and me for one, I was calling for Arsene Wenger's head at one point, and now you look back and you think, flipping, I could have done with him for a few more years. But you know, Arteta came in, and you know, it's been 1 minute he was decent, and the next minute we want him out, and then now he's been decent again because we're reaching top. It's a process. You know what I mean? Like he said, it's a process, and you know, hopefully, you know, Arsenal can do it, and I don't hope that Man United can do it. You know what I mean? So
now Manchester United, as a new manager comes in, he's going to look and assess his squad. Who's the dead weight in the Man United squad? I'm going to go to you on this, Woodshack. Who's the dead weight? You're coming in. Who are you saying he's got to go after wage bill?
I mean, the wages there are astronomical, aren't they? They're in such a mess, Man United. I think they've been mismanaged for years and years, chopping and changing with the manager. One manager comes in, he wants one thing. Another manager comes in, he wants another. So they've got a real mishmash of a squad. It's probably the best time to come in. They've got a lot of players out of contract. You know, ones that want to go, ones that need to go. For me, you look at the squad and I think probably 75% need to be moved on.
Let's get the specifics of players. Let's talk exactly who you've got to move on. So
Pogba's got to go, hasn't he? Pogba don't want to be there. You know, I'd move him on sharpish. Cavani again, you know, on huge wages will be there. Jesse Lingard, you know, they're three straight away. You between them three wages, you're probably looking at £1 million a week in wages.
Yes,
you know.
Then you've got Mata and Matic as well. They've got to be on some money.
Yeah, you know, all them. There's so many players that you don't even think about. You know, you look at Phil Jones, keeps getting dug up every 6 months for a game. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? I thought he was dead, and then I see him running around at centre half. I'm like, wow. You know, there's so many players at Man United. Who's the French geezer, the striker who plays on the left as well?
Martial,
another one. You know, move him on. He's not good enough. They've got so many, and it'll free up loads of money for the new manager. And there's a huge rebuild. Listen, Man United are a huge, huge club. There's still a massive draw, whether in the Champions League or not. If Man United ring you up and they're interested, you're sitting down and talking to them. They're a massive club, and yeah, it's probably the best time now, I'd say, to get the job because you have the opportunity to go in and rip it up. And the players have got no pull whatsoever. They've been doo-doo for years. So the manager's got to come in, he can do whatever he wants. And they need to sit there and be quiet. But Nighty will tell you, when a new manager comes in, he's probably got 6 weeks, you know, or the lads will be like, not having him. And if the lads make a decision early on that they're not having you, your days are numbered. So he's got 6 weeks to make an impression, and I hope he will, and I think he will, because the Premier League's a better place when Man United are flying up near the top.
Let's talk about Paul Pogba. Potentially could leave Man United on a free for the second time. Is that the biggest mug-off in Premier League history?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? How do you buy someone for £100 million?
100 million. 100 million pounds. Plus signing on, plus wages. Probably in excess of 130 million.
So you let him go for free. You buy him back for 100 million, and then you let him go for free again. It's unbelievable. I tip my hat to his agent. Big up.
All jokes aside, is it show how far Man United have dropped, the fact that someone like Paul Pogba can do this to the club?
Well, personally, I think he's worked. Listen, mate, I was one for flipping, trying to get signing on fees and stuff, and nothing of the not even a fraction of what they're looking at now. But obviously, money's money, and he's worked it well. I think he's flipped.
There's rumours going on. You still got your signing on bonus from Chelsea, lad.
Nah, mate, no chance, mate. Don't worry about that.
But, he hasn't spent that one from Russian and Diamonds yet, mate.
100%. We're not going to talk about that one.
But, I think he's worked it well. Fair play to him, mate. Fair play to his agent. At the end of the day, he's looking out for him. When football's done, Curtis will tell you, no one comes knocking at your door and say, here's a job, mate. So, do you know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
He's worked it well. He's, like he said, he's gone on a free. Where did he go? Juventus? He went to Juventus. Man United bought him back for 100 mil, and he's going for free again. It's money all round for him, mate, and his agent, and he's probably going to go Real Madrid or somewhere like that, where he gets another big bonus and signing on fee and massive wages and all that, Well, you got, like Curtis said, you got to tip your hat to him, mate. He's played the game well. The only thing that's not worked for him is his reputation. People, when you bring up his name, people just roll their eyes and go, oh, sometimes, and this, that, and the other. That's the only thing that's not gone for him. Other than that.
I always say to all, young players that I speak to and they ask advice, or young boxers that I train, I always say the same thing to them is be 100% selfish in sport. Because Knight is right. Nobody, and I mean this, nobody gives a shit. Nope. Nobody cares. Okay. Once it's all over, you may care, James, but once it's all over, no one cares. It's just a conveyor belt. Next one on. So be selfish, look after yourself, look after your family. And really, who's going to care in 10 years' time about what Paul Pogba did or what he didn't do? Nobody. So, if he can get the best deal for himself, then you do that. Respect. He's a good player. You can't knock him. He's a quality player. He's won absolutely everything. He's won the World Cup, the European Championship. So Pogba don't give a shit about it. And, go and look after number one and do the best for you. And, who cares about whether people like you or not?
He's won the European Championships. He's won the World Cup. If you're a Manchester United fan, you've invested in him. He's your man. You've got Pogba on the back of your shirt. You must be seething with the underachievement from him at Manchester United, and the lack of loyalty to the club shown yet again. You'd be seething, Knighty. If that was an Arsenal player, you'd be bombarding their social media for months. I saw your tweets when Van Persie left. You've just about got over that, Knighty.
I know, but Van Persie was doing bits for us at that point. Paul Pogba. I think
that's what I'm trying to get at, though. The lack of something back for the club. European champion, World Cup winner. What's he done?
James, it could be anything. It could be like, you know what I mean? I don't think they play the way they play don't suit Pogba. It don't suit Pogba. Pogba, flipping hell. Bloody Nora. I mean, I've had a flipping. It don't suit him, mate. It don't suit him, I don't think. Because when he goes to France and he plays in France, plays for France, he's flipping unbelievable. Pulls the strings. Do you know what I mean?
It's the Premier League that don't really suit him. Do you think it's the way Man United play, or the pace of the game, or because his ability is not in question, is it? The guy's a joke.
When he was at Juve, unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Now you can say, we all know the Italian league's a lot slower than the Premiership and this and the other. But talent's talent at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm saying? If you can put it in the stanch and play through a ball in Serie A, you can put it in a stanch and play for a ball in the Premier League. Like, do you know what I mean?
Can you do it at Stoke on a Monday night though?
But you know, like I said, I don't think it suits him the way Man United play. And if you're bringing in that caliber of player, you've got to build around him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree massively. I think you've got Paul Pogba. You got to maneuver things around him. You know, you get him at 100% on top form. That's a completely different Manchester United team. And when James talks about loyalty, there is no loyalty. You know, Pogba's got no loyalty to Man United, and Man United have got no loyalty to him. If he wasn't playing well and he was rubbish, or he broke his leg at the end of his contract, they'd have him out of there before you can say your last name. So there is no loyalty. Pogba don't owe Manchester United anything, and Manchester United don't owe him anything. You know, so it is what it is. And you know, Pogba probably looks around. He's got Fred and McTominay wrapping balls around his shins every 2 minutes. You know, he needs quality around him. He came from Juventus with Pirlo, finding him in them little pockets. So have Man United done right by Paul Pogba? You know, get some players around him that can pass the ball to him, not wrap it around his throat every 2 minutes.
All right, lads, let's Knighty, wrap up what you're saying. I want to move from Pogba. We've had enough energy on him.
Curtis is right, mate. I just reckon, you know, they brought him in and they didn't do right by him, I think. Because like I'm saying, you cannot say he's not a good player. You can't say that. It's impossible to say that. As much as people want to hate him and say this and he don't look bothered and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other, he's quality, mate. He's quality. Yeah. So, like Curtis said, have Man United done right by him? You can flip it round if you want. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Let's look at some of the other news going on. We've seen Haaland to Manchester City potentially nailed on. They ain't played with a striker for a long time. Pep seems to like that false nine system. How will Haaland impact Manchester City? Does he make them stronger? Does he make them elite?
Knight, you're a striker. This one's for you, brother.
Me personally, I'm gonna put it out there. I don't really take to Haaland, to be honest. I know everyone's gonna say, you know, he scores unbelievable goals and he's physique and he's fast and he can leap and this, that, and the other. But I just think, you know, the Bundesliga. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying about that Bundesliga. You know, the form doesn't transfer very well to the Premier League. Who's that geezer at Chelsea you've got? I watched him the other night. He looked like a fish bike. What's he called? Wow.
Even Sancho to a point.
Mate, I said my two sons are Man United fans. My eldest son's 18. Absolutely loves Sancho. When they signed him, he ran into my bedroom like singing and everything. I said, listen, I don't even think Sancho's all that. So I had a bet with him. I said, I bet you £100 he don't get 10 goals or 10 assists. He couldn't shake my hand quick enough. So I don't think Sancho's all that. I think he's a bit of a like, listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. For me, Sancho's top championship player. Yeah, I said it.
Wow.
I said it.
Wow.
I said it.
And you're talking about Haaland. He's got a proof, like, where is he from? Norway.
Yeah, he's from Norway. Son of a former Premier League legend. So
who's that?
He's got his dad's Haaland that used to play for Manchester City, the one that got his legs broke by Roy Keane.
Yeah. I just don't take to him, to be honest. You know, he might prove me wrong. You know, in a Man City side that put everything on a plate here. Do you know what I mean? He might score flipping 40, 50 goals a season. But
I reckon he's going to rip the Prem, Leon. I'm telling you. I reckon he's going to absolutely rip the Prem. You look at players in his mould in the past, like Van Nistelrooy. I'm trying to think of them powerful Drogba, them powerful technical strikers. Knighty, you're going to eat the words on this clip.
I'm going to say Knighty's going to end up being a Nemi. I can see it already.
100%.
Me personally, yeah, I would say if I was Man City, I'd say, listen, let's go and get Harry Kane. Yeah, proven in the Prem. Yeah, he ain't got to adapt to any sort of way of life or whatever. He's just got to move from Tottenham to Manchester. Yeah, and that's it. Done. Guaranteed goals. Guaranteed goals.
If I had the choice between the two, I'm taking Kane all day, every day, and twice on a Sunday.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, all day, mate. All day.
Force Tottenham's hand. You've got the peas. You've got the money. Man City. Force their hand. Yeah. Bang. Set. You've won the Premier League.
Yeah, Kane's better than Haaland all day long.
I'm on the fence here. Haaland's younger. He's got a lot of potential. Kane has achieved some great things, but still trophyless.
That's okay. It's cool. If he goes Man City, he won't be trophyless anymore.
Yeah, you can't. You know, that trophyless thing, I don't carry any weight with me. It's like people saying, oh, Steven Gerrard didn't win the Premier League, so is this or is that?
He won the Champions League though, Curtis.
Yeah, but it's like saying, it's like when you put the R9 Ronaldo. Oh, he didn't win the Champions League. Come on, bro. Like,
how did that Real Madrid team not win the Champions League? I scratch my head thinking about this every day. The Galacticos. How did the Galacticos not win the Champions League? Could have a whole show on that.
And too many good players, didn't they? Egos and all that, probably.
Hear that, lads?
But yeah, listen, I'm with Knighty on the Haaland one. I'm not sold yet. I think if I was having a bet on who's going to, if he goes to Man City next season, who's going to score more goals, him or Kane, and you get Man City, who, you know, like Knighty said, he'll probably have 5 chances a game at Man City, or Harry Kane, who's playing on the counter-attack under Conte.
Kane's coming a lot deeper, though, isn't he, in his new role? His new role isn't just in the box. He's creating a lot more chances as well. So,
which is how Man City want to play with that false 9 anyway. So I don't understand why Pep don't go get Kane.
How old's Kane now?
I think he's 27 off the top of my head.
Nah, Kane's not 27. He's older than that.
He can never be 27.
Nah, he's not. He's got to be 30, isn't he?
Bearing in mind, the pandemic's messed up a lot of aging process. Years become like blurred. So let's have a little look. Harry Kane age. He's 28. What are you talking about?
He's 28.
I'm not that far out, am I?
Break the bank, bruv.
28. Wow.
Hey, bruv. Now listen to this. Before we move on, you've gone and spent 100 million on Grealish, and he can't make the important games when you lot are playing the important games. You should have just went and bought Harry Kane for 120 mil, 130 mil, and that's it. You've won everything.
I agree.
You've won everything.
Imagine Kane in this Man City.
That's what I'm trying to say.
He's getting 50. He's getting 50 goals.
All right. This Haaland thing's stupidness, bro. If Kane's 28 years old, that means he's got another 5 years in him.
Yeah, all there.
So for 5 years, you're winning everything.
All right.
No one ain't going to be able to keep up with Man City if they've got Kane in their side. He's a cold-blooded finisher.
How good do you think he is, Knighty? You're a striker. How good? For me, he's top 3 in the world.
Listen, mate, listen.
Where does Benzema fit in that category? You'd have Kane ahead of Benzema.
Benzema's top 3. Benzema's top 3.
Who's your top 3, Knighty? Out and out, like number 9s, goal scorers.
I'd go Benzema, Kane, and
Lewandowski. Is he in there?
It's got to be in there.
It's Bundesliga, bruv.
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I've seen his record for Poland as well as a joke.
Yeah, it is. But I still won't put him in there.
No? Who's your third then?
I don't even know, bruv.
You'd keep the third blank rather than put Lewandowski in there.
Because I think, listen.
What order? Tell me what order. Who's number 1?
I'd go Harry Kane, then I'll go Benzema, then Harry Kane. But I ain't just jumped on this Benzema wagon, you know. I've been saying this for years, bro. But no one wants to take me serious.
I've got Kane ahead of him, me. If I'm picking a team right now,
younger,
in my number 9, I'm Kane for me all day long.
I hear you. No, that's a great argument, bro. It's a great argument.
For me, he's the best in the world. Number 9, down the middle, Kane, best in the world.
No, he's top 300% without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. I can't include anyone from the Bundesliga. I can't take that league serious.
I'm the same.
The best thing to come out of that league is Klopp.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
What about Jude Bellingham, though, when he comes over here?
Listen, Birmingham City didn't retire his number for nothing. He's going to be an absolute baller.
I love watching
baller.
Listen, I've seen him play a few times and I like him, but he still needs to come over here.
Right, lads, I want to move this discussion on now.
Just one sec, James. Just a quick one on Jude Bellingham. You know, he's a player, but he came over to play Glasgow Rangers and got bocked at iBox. So,
exactly.
Just putting it out there.
This is what I'm trying to say, Curtis. This is what I'm trying to say. This is exactly what I'm trying to say.
He got boxed.
I'm just trying to say,
like, at iBox. I'm
telling you, the league, it gives you it fools you.
Right, lads. Now, I want to talk about football hard men. I want to talk about some of the players that give other players nightmares before the game.
I'll take it from here, James.
Woodhouse. Now, that's what I was going to say. You're known as being quite a tough guy. Footballer turned boxer, British champion, known for your boxing. Knighty, you're known for being a little bit tough as well with your karate.
No. I wasn't tough at all.
You've got your martial arts background that you keep under wraps. You know, you're a yellow belt. So let's talk about some of the players that gave other players nightmares. When I say football hard man, it goes through your mind instantly, Curtis.
First name that always comes to my mind is Kevin Ball. Remember Kevin Ball at Sunderland?
I do indeed.
Mate, yeah. The guy was like scary. He had one of them bodies, like when he bumped into you, he was like, oh, he was just made of stone. And he used to be like verbally so aggressive. I played against him, I was like 17, 18 years of age. I honestly remember after one game, like saying to my dad, like, is any jobs going at your place, Dad? Because I'm not sure this is for me. Kevin Ball, for me, he's the hardest player I've ever played against.
I'm gonna go Terry Hurlock. I've spoken to a lot of players in my life, and his name comes up time and time again. Lovely fella, absolute lunatic, hard as they come. Terry Hurlock for me. Knighty, what you thinking?
Can I just say that what we're classing as hard here? Hard on the pitch or hard in the car park?
General football hard man. Football hard man. Knighty, what you thinking?
So we're talking on and off the pitch?
Yeah, talking on and off the pitch.
Bloody hell. There's a few. There's like Stuart Pearce. There's fucking Vinnie Jones. There's Julian Dix.
Julian Dix. That's a name I've not heard in a while.
Dennis Wise was a nasty piece of work as well.
Yeah.
Underrated, spiteful little man.
He was
that Wimbledon background, crazy gang, the Dons.
He was a devil, mate, honestly.
Yeah, he was.
That's a good shout that night. That's a good shout.
What about Billy Whitehurst? Can't keep Billy out of this conversation.
Wow.
Rambo Billy, they used to call him. You don't get the nickname Rambo for nothing.
That's a shout. Paul McGrath?
Paul McGrath, yes. What about Patrick Vieira? Where would he fit in that category? You wouldn't want to fight him, would you?
On the pitch, he was tough on the pitch.
Let's talk about Roy Keane.
Yeah, a couple of times.
What happened with him?
He's a joke.
I know.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. Like, what a player. And I remember I played against him. I played in that FA Cup game. Do you remember where Steve Bruce was going to take us off the pitch? Where?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They took a dodgy throwing against us, and I think Overmars went down the line, crossed it, and Kanu knocked it in, and Bruce was going to take us off the pitch and all stuff like that. So we got a replay. Vieira was another one. Just makes you think like there must be some jobs going in Tesco's or something, because what he's doing it differently to what I'm doing it. He's huge as well. The Arsenal team, like 90, was ridiculous. I was stood in the dugout before we went out, in the tunnel. And they were all like 6'3", 6'4". I stood next to Ray Parler. I really stood next to Ray Parler.
Massive, isn't it?
Mate, the guy's a proper unit. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, mate, that Arsenal team.
They were all units, mate. They had Emmanuel Petit, a
yeah.
unit. Vieira, unit.
Keown Adams.
He was a unit.
Yeah.
They were all units, bro.
Bergkamp.
Silva.
Bergkamp was a
Silva.
unit, mate. Yeah. In midfield, the midfield where we played that game, in the middle of the park, was Vieira and Petit. On one wing they had Ray Power, and on the other one they had Overmars. It was, I was like, mate, I'll tap it out. Ridiculous. Then up top they had Bergkamp and Anelka.
Jesus Christ.
Joke.
Lads.
Joke.
And Anelka's a unit.
Yeah.
Lads,
big guys.
See footballing hard men and rivalries.
Mm.
What two comes to mind? Like for me, the Vieira-Roy Keane rivalry was always quite intense. He's always expecting it to spill over. What comes to mind from your brain?
From my brain, Ian Wright and Peter Schmeichel.
Yes. They did have no love lost there. Them two absolutely despised each other.
Yes. That was quality.
What about you, Curtis?
Yeah, I'd probably say, I'm with you, James. I'd probably say Keane and Vieira.
Mm.
That was kind of my era, so I think of them two straight away. The thing is, as well, I find it a little bit, when you talk about Roy Keane and Vieira as being hard men, I think it just doesn't do them justice, because like unbelievable players as well, like passing, and Roy Keane was a great passer of the ball. You know, he wasn't one of them that hit the 60, 70-yard ball, but a great 10, 15-yard passer. Same with Vieira, you know, and when people
when you're saying great 10, 15-yard passer, it keeps the play going. It's not like stop, pass back. It was like boom, keep, and we're going forward. You get what I'm saying? It's not, when you say that, you've got to like include, like, you know what I mean? They just kept the flow. They kept the flow of the ball. Like, they made sure the ball was going forward. It was going forward. It was getting onto the players that could, you know, produce certain stuff on the pitch. Who was it flipping going down them wings there? Giggs, Kanchelskis, I don't know, flipping whoever it was. Eric Cantona was in there. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And also they get it. You know, you're a centre forward now, so they get it in midfield. They're looking to find you straight away. Can you get in between them lines of the back four and the midfield? I think it's such a. Everyone talks about passing, and you think Beckham hitting them 70-yard passes, Gerrard, this, that, and the other. But the ones that can do the little 10, 15-yarders, that just play it into little pockets, like I said, they're the ones that keep the game ticking over. And I think Roy Keane and Vieira were brilliant at that. And obviously, they loved the tackle. They were aggressive.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I just realised we forgot football's ultimate hard man. Big Dunk.
Oh, yeah, Big Dunk.
Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
What a character.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he caught the burglars trying to get into his gaff and just kept them for a few days and just played with them? Like pets.
Went inside, didn't he?
Played with them like pets for a couple of days before he called the police.
Imagine going into a house to burgle it, and Big Dunk comes down the stairs with his silk pajamas. You're banging trouble, aren't you?
Who on earth would have thought it was a good idea to try and burgle Big Dunk while he's indoors?
It must have got it wrong somewhere. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%. It's a mess.
You don't just, like, a man of sense don't say, oh yeah, I'm gonna rub Big Dunk. That don't make sense.
His stories are the stuff of legend. That one picture I love where he's strangling the player. I forget who it was. Player looks like David Moyes, coincidentally, in older years, but that's a great image. Big Dunk, yeah, we got to have Big Dunk in.
Yeah, Big Dunk's he's in there. Big Dunk's in 100. There. Have you seen that video when Jimmy Bullard's?
He's gone.
Yeah, funny man. Yeah. He went to prison though, didn't he? Big Dunk. He went to prison, headbutting the geezer during the game.
Headbutted a player, didn't he? Got him.
Yeah. Did 6 months, I think.
Yeah, it was live on TV on the camera as well. So
proper stuck it on him.
Proper nutted. Wow. Does the game miss these type of characters? Do you think these type of altercations still go on, but they're not blown up as much?
I don't think they go on because you'd hear about it. You know what I mean? The social media is so rife right now. You'd hear about it somewhere. You're hearing about flipping players leaving group chats. Like the club group chat, you'd hear about someone getting nutted in the tunnel.
Hey, don't forget Big John Hartson either.
John Hartson,
he booted Berkovic in the kite. Didn't you remember?
What a shout! I forgot about Hartson.
He's a big
him and Vinnie Jones, I don't know how true this is. They had a fight over who was the hardest.
Oh, really? Who won?
That's been going around for a long time.
Who won?
I don't actually know. It didn't come out, but yeah.
Can Vinnie Jones fight or not? Can he fight, Vinnie? He's a lump, isn't he?
He's a lump, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's from the crazy gang mentality. He grew up in sort of Kent way, I think. So he's gonna. I
tell you, I would throw in there, and I've trained and played alongside him. Is John Terry?
Yeah.
He is fucking hard as nails, mate. And you know the worst thing is as well, he's more than a unit. He's more than a unit.
John Terry used to love you, Knighty.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone rate a youth player as much as John Terry did you. I want people to look at me how John Terry looked at you, and I'll be happy. He absolutely loves Knighty. I've not seen anything like it.
You know what? You know what, right?
Mixed him up with Righty, I reckon.
Yeah. You know what? Me and Knighty are in and around the same age. And because of, I'm not talking as if you're not here, Knighty, but because of how Knighty is, he's a live wire, isn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't
that's why he's here.
Yeah, of course. But he doesn't get the respect that he deserves as a footballer. Listen, I live 5 hours away from where Knighty's from. And we all knew about Knighty up north. Knighty, when he was a kid, was a stone cold killer. He was the next, the next one. Forget Michael Owen. People talk about Michael Owen. Knighty was the one coming through. And
I tried to explain this to people.
It was a baller, mate.
They don't understand. They don't understand. But anyway, enough about blowing Knighty's trumpet.
No, I need to mention one more hard man. I need to mention him. Clive Platt, right? I played with Platt. Yeah,
I've heard that, you know.
Oh, mate. Platt is like 6'7" as well. The nicest guy you will ever meet in your life. And I played at Peterborough with Clive. And after this game, we knighted him. So we called him Sir Clive after this game. So it was going off. We played, I think it was either Bristol City, Bristol Rovers, one of the two. I can't remember. Might not have even been them. And the centre half was giving him some from behind, elbowing him. Like I said, Platt is 6'7", nicest guy ever. I was like, mate, stop it. Don't do that. That hurts. You know, that's kind of how he is. And then after like half an hour, he's like, listen, you do that again, I'm going to have to do something about it. So we got in the tunnel after, and he's waiting for this centre half in the tunnel. So he's walked in. Platt is hitting with a monster right hand, knocked 6 of his teeth clean out. He banjoed him in the tunnel. So after that, we're like I said, Platt is the nicest guy ever. So, but after he did that, we looked at Platt a little bit differently and slowed down. We were talking to him. We called him Sir Clive. That's his name, Sir Clive.
I was with him at MK.
Yeah.
And I heard about him being hard. And he didn't even show us he was hard. You knew he was hard. You know them players that don't have to go on like they're hard.
Yeah.
Like a little man like myself, we have to be a bit loud and like, do you know what I mean? But him, like you said, he was a calm guy. Like he would only speak if he's spoken to. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah,
but you know, when he's on the pitch, he'll just hold people off, and like you couldn't get round him. Like, do you get what I'm saying? He was a proper unit, mate.
Big up.
Platt is a good guy, Knight, isn't he?
Yeah, proper guy.
If you're watching this, Clive Platt, we just want to say big up, mate. You've made football hard man.
Sir Clive. Sir. Put some respect on his name.
As knighted by the bacon, egg, and mushroom king. Right, we're going to move this on. What do you guys think of the broadcasters and the way they're lining up football panels to talk about and broadcast games? What do you think of the inclusiveness of the panel? The days of ex-international footballers has now changed. The diversion and the face of the game has changed. Where do you guys stand on it? What do you make of the modern day broadcasting techniques? I'm going to go initially straight to Knighty on this. This is Knighty's world.
Well, I just think that you've played the game. You understand, you know, everything that goes around in the game. You understand, like, if you're in a change room, big games, and you understand how they'll be feeling and stuff. and you can obviously bring that out when you're presenting or commentating or whatever. I just think with ex-players, I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest. I think that's the line that they should go down. I mean, I know a lot of people work hard to try and get to certain points where, you know, they're presenting and commentating and stuff and whatever, but I just feel the ex-pros should have first hand.
Does it have a different effect to you if you're watching the football and you don't
100%
recognise the person or the person's voice or their
100%. If I'm getting Rio or Michael Owen or Paul Scholes speaking, I'm fucking tuned in. Do you know what I mean? I'm tuned in, and if I've got flipping Peter, who's done university, who's got straight A's and that and whatever, but he's done his work and gone through like the ranks of trying to get to where he's got to, I'm not respecting it. Respect to him, obviously, for what he's done to get where he is, but I'm still not taking it serious. Now, don't get me twisted. I'm talking about there's a thing with presenting where you're presenting and then you're presenting the players that are actually about the game.
Yes, I get that.
That's what I'm saying. The presenter can be anybody.
Yeah, I get that. But you want the people talking about the game to be high level, experienced international players. I
want players that I've seen or heard of. I need that. That's what I need.
Do you think the broadcast quality and the quality of the product that we're getting as viewers has gone down?
Yeah,
by it being too inclusive in the panels?
Well, listen to this before Curtis comes on. Yeah. In bits and bats, because I'd say when Roy Keane's on, Graham Souness is on. Do you know what I mean? Micah Richards is on. Who else gets on there? Scholes on BT Sport. Rio.
Jamie Redknapp.
Do you know what I mean? They've got Defoe on there sometimes or whatever.
Yeah. And Clinton Morrison. We see Clinton doing some media stuff.
I can relate to that. Fans who ain't even kick football can relate to that because they've watched them, or if it was before them, they know, you know, what they're talking about. Mm. I can't take it serious if you've not played the game. That's like me going and presenting boxing. As much as I think I know boxing, I don't know. Oh yeah, you got to get distances and ask Curtis. He knows boxing. You got to get distances and is he throwing his jabbing off and blah 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 and this that and the other. I don't get all of that. All I know is if he gets knocked out, he's shit. Do you understand what I'm saying though?
Curtis, what do you think about it? Do you enjoy football less with the panels that are on showcasing the game now than you do, say, for instance? I don't want to dig out anyone in particular because I don't want to belittle anyone's work, job, or status. But what I'm talking about is the footballing shows now that are broadcast.
Sorry. Can I just say one more thing?
You can say anything you want.
Curtis, when the boxing is on, they've got boxers on. The presenter is whoever it is.
Yeah.
But they've got boxers on. Why have they got boxers on? Because they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think once you've got people that have kind of been there, seen it, done it, it gives what they're talking about some sort of credibility because they know they're talking from experience rather than talking from what they think they know. And I agree. I think being a presenter of the show, it's a completely different skill set, isn't it? It's like being a manager and being a coach. It's two different things.
Is the product of the broadcast and football content that we're getting, is it being watered down by the choice of being politically correct in the panels? Is it being watered down by having a certain amount of, say, for instance, women on the panel, a certain amount of people that haven't played football at a high level? Is that watering down the product that we're getting served?
But I think as well, I mean, the answer to your question may be yes, it may be no. I suppose it's down to everybody's preference. But I think a big part of, I think what they're trying to do, and what I do agree on, is you've got to think of young people watching it and they're trying to aspire to be somebody or be something. You know, when I used to watch football, I wanted to be John Barnes. I've seen him on my TV. That's what I wanted to be. Or what I used to watch boxing. I wanted to be Mike Tyson. So, you know, people that then maybe can't make it as a footballer might want to go into presenting. They need to see that there's a path for them. So seeing people on the TV that maybe have not played, that may inspire them to go down that path. So I get what you're saying, and a big part of me agrees. But my thought probably changed once I had a daughter. You know, I've got a daughter now, and
like
you know, so she'll look at different things. You know, I used to be very, not ignorant, it's the wrong word, but I was like, women playing football and all that. I mean, come on. And then obviously my daughter then wants to be involved in it. So what my opinion then starts to change. So I think
Curtis,
it's important.
can I introduce you to Mr. Leon Knight, who's now got 4 daughters and has been the most vocal on women's football of anyone I've ever come across. He's got 4 daughters potentially. It's ironic.
Yeah, but no, I do think it's important that we let the youth, the next generation, aspire to be something involved in sport. Not everybody can be a footballer. Not everybody can make it. So these are the other avenues to be down there. But I 100% agree. When I'm watching a game, I want to get the thoughts and the insights of people who know what they're doing through activity. They've done it. You know, I want to listen to John Terry talk about defending. You know, when they're talking about midfielders, I want to listen to how Jerry Redknapp thinks, how Roy Keane thinks. You know, if they've got Jermaine Defoe in there, I love listening to Jermaine Defoe explain like the different runs that the striker's done. You see it from a different perspective. So I get all that. I'm probably on both sides of the fence. I would never kind of belittle anyone who's trying their best, who's trying to get into an industry. You know, their place, they've got just as much a place as we have as former pros. But the truth is, if they haven't played the ball, then they better come correct. They better know what they're talking about. Their knowledge better be spot on, because they get judged a lot more harshly. So, yeah, I don't know if I've answered the question there. They're just my thoughts on it.
Just got some splinters.
James, you're saying about
plenty of splinters. Go on.
You're saying about me. Yeah, I've got 4 daughters. I've got 3 daughters and a stepdaughter. So I've never said about them not being able to play football. I just want to clear this up. I've always said that when you're talking of equal pay, you've got to bring in the same as you're asking for. You've got to bring in the crowd. You've got to sell the shirts. You've got to do all of this. You can't just come and say that you want equal pay and why is the guys getting this and the guys getting that. And I always said, point blank, it's because they're better than you. Simple as that. There ain't
genetically, it's going to be very hard for women to compete with men. We've covered this in past shows.
No, listen, I know this. And I'm not saying to compete, but I'm just talking about in them getting some high amount of wages and like 10, 15, 20 grand a week and stuff like that. Where's the money going to come from?
I hear that.
You know what? That's life in general. You know, it's like if we all worked in sales, you know, and I'm getting paid 50 grand a week and Knight is getting 500 quid a week and going to the boss, well, hold on a minute, why is he getting 50 grand a week? The boss would say, well, he's selling more than you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how football is, you know. The Premier League's going out to millions, generating millions and billions of pounds. So the players can go and get that big chunk of the pie, where at the minute, the women's game isn't reaching that volume of people. So there isn't the money in the pot. That's just how it is.
Let's hear it like this then. The men's game, it's been established. There's money, commercial viability, route for career path, route for progressing as a player in the game. The women's game hasn't had that. It's so fresh, it's so young, it's so new. When I had a son, the first thing I thought about was my son training and playing football. I knew that would be an option for him. Before he's born, women haven't had that same option for them. Men haven't had that same option for their daughters. Now with the growth of the game, people can have that same thought process regarding the girls. I think we'll see the standard increase where you can do it full time. It hasn't got to just be a hobby. You can concentrate on this and get the backing to improve your game. I think in the next 10 years, the women's game will dramatically increase in our country.
Yeah, and my daughter's going to be in there collecting some peas.
Say that again, Leon.
My daughter's going to be in there collecting some peas.
You just make sure you're not in charge of negotiations.
She's cold, bruv. She's cold.
Do not leave yourself in charge of negotiations. Get an agent, okay? A proper agent. This is where parents go wrong. They should not be in boardroom meetings. Get an agent.
Well, I know how it goes. Yeah,
this is what worries me.
And I've got to get all the peas. Yeah, I need something in place for when the football's finished.
Yes.
Yeah, And I'm nice after that. We want all the P's and something in place when the football finishes. After that, it's down to you. Go perform on the pitch.
Okay.
Now he'll be turned up with a rucksack. Fill that up.
Have you seen that picture with the dad when his son's signing academy papers and he turns up in a white suit?
No.
100%. That's got 90 all over it.
No chance.
Yeah, 90 all over it. All right, look, we're running out of topics. It's running out of time, and I've got a lot more topics. So I'm gonna go now into why do the same faces appear in football management? Why is the merry-go-round inclusive of the same old heads? What's going on?
Curtis.
How long we got left? Because I could talk about this all day.
We got long enough. It can always be a topic that we touch on again.
Yeah, no, I think the whole system's messed up. You know, technically, I am qualified to work in the Premier League. I've got every badge there is to get. Probably cost me over £20,000 to get them. So obviously, I've managed in non-league, tried to get an opportunity, and just been knocked back time and time again because I haven't got the experience at a certain level. How you get experience without being given a chance, I will never know. You know, I always got told, go and do your badges. Don't give people an opportunity to kind of say no to you. So I went and did all of that. I got my experience. My record in non-league management is very, very impressive. So to not be given an opportunity is really, really frustrating, to say the least. You get the same people getting job after job after job from failure after failure after failure. I don't get my head around it. Only in football is a bad experience better than no experience. You know, people getting sacked left, right, and centre, and then get another opportunity at the same level. The whole thing's messed up. But I was always told that if people don't let you sit at the table, go make your own table. So I've walked away from football management now, and I'll go and do something else, something that I'm in charge of, I'm in control of, and I can be judged on my own success and my own failure. Whereas football management, I've got people that are far less qualified than me making judgments on my future. So it's not a game I'm willing to play anymore. And like I said, I gave 10 years to football management in non-league and spent over £20,000 getting fully qualified, and to not be given an opportunity is very, very frustrating.
Jobs for the boys. Do you see it as jobs for the boys, Curtis?
Yeah, no, I absolutely. You know, you look at the merry-go-round and how people can justify getting opportunity after opportunity when they get sacked for not being very good time and time again. You know, if someone came to do your plumbing at your house and messed it up, you wouldn't hire them again to come and do the same job. It's only in football and the games. It's rotten from the core, really. So, like I said, if they don't let you sit at the table, go make your own table.
Nighty, what are your thoughts on the same managers getting offered job after job, regardless of their performance in the role previous?
Shit, innit? It's point blank shit. Like they're not coming with any new skills when they get sacked and they go to a new club. Do you know what I mean? You might have one or two new better players or whatever, but they're just bringing the same to the table. Mm. They ain't doing anything different. And it's just, like I said, it's been the same. Ooh, flipping, what's his name? Kenny Jackett. He gets sacked from everywhere. Just been sacked from Orient, isn't he? He'll have a new job by starting next season. So
what would you recommend for someone like me, Nighty? For someone like me who's never been sacked, always done well everywhere he's gone. My last job, broke club records for wins and all things like that, and then can't get an opportunity at a level I believe that I should be at.
If I was you and I had your credentials, I'll just keep knocking on doors. I'll just keep knocking on doors, mate. Even if you're doing what you're doing now and just sending off your letters and, applying and this, that, and the other, I'll keep doing it. Because I tell you one thing, and it's not because you're here, you've got the manager in you. It's that you played like that. Do you know what I mean? You had that presence as well, like, do you know what I mean? And obviously, you come on through the lower leagues and stuff and whatever. Record speaks for itself.
I mean, I'm only young. I'm still only 42. Yeah. But it just...
Hey, if I was
You lose hope after a bit, don't you? I suppose
know,
you lose a little bit of hope.
I know what you mean, but I'll just, you can still do what you're doing and still put in your flipping, your letter here and there. And if there's a job going, knock on their door and go. If they keep saying no, then you're still doing what you're doing anyway. It's not, do you know what I mean? It's not like you're going to, you have to go and get certain badges and this. You've got every qualification.
Yeah. I just want to back this up a little bit. Woodchat's taking all the limelight here. I've signed you both on Championship Manager, numerous times, and managed both your careers to greatness. Okay, playing 90 up front with Cherno Samba and Justin Jocelyn on rotation.
90 is a joke on Football Manager as well.
Woodchack at centre half. Woodchack at centre half with Robert Page. You know what I'm talking about. I just need a chance as well, lad. So don't let Woodchack take you all in with his emotion, not getting a chance. All right.
You know what?
I'll be happy to manage at level step 22.
Yeah. What I found frustrating in football management is when you apply for roles and don't even have the decency to get an email back or anything like that. And I've never ever applied for a role where someone would go, "You applied for that."
So what you're saying is you've not applied for the Manchester United job. You're
no,
within your targeted demographic of work.
Yeah, and maybe a level above where I'm working. Never like try to apply for a job where it's like outrageous. I've applied for jobs where, their average attendance, I get more people around that family barbecue. So we're not talking about these huge clubs, and like in the end, it just gets a little bit like, you know what? And I know this sounds arrogant, but I just think, I'm better than this. I'll go and do something else.
Must be tough to deal with, having spent and I'm guessing you're not the only person from football in this situation.
Nope.
Spend all your money on your badges, to be encouraged by the FA and the peers to do all the courses, do everything right, and then not be offered an opportunity. I find it really terrible and abhorrent.
Me personally, I think if you've got all your badges, you have to be accepted somewhere. That's the way.
Then again, it comes down to the thing is there's limited places for limited jobs. We all want to play football at academies. There's limited academy spaces. How do you, like Curtis said, how do you get that experience without having?
Well, listen. You're saying there's limited, but there's limited people that's got all their badges.
Big point, mate.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Not everybody's got what Curtis has got there.
No, I'll make you right. That's a big
point.
A
high percentage ain't got what he's got there.
For the roles that I've done, I'm outrageously overqualified to the point where it's laughable, really, to be getting paid like £125 a week, or whatever it is, like ridiculous wages. I don't do football management for money. I run 3 different businesses that keep a roof over my head. I do football management as a passion. It's something that I want to do. I'm passionate about. I love working with people. Football management is that, and I'm grossly overqualified for any role that I've had in football management. But it is what it is, isn't it? And Knight is right. There's loads of people that are in my position, my situation, and it is what it is. You either cry about it or you go and do something else. So I'll just go and do something else.
Don't make it right though. If you think you're encouraged to do these things and they're taking and charging everybody for these badges, knowing full well that there's a 1% chance that you're going to get a chance to manage a big club.
Right.
I think that's wrong. I think that's
I'm saying to you,
money off people on the basis of their dreams.
This is what I'm trying to say.
It's similar to an agency that says, "Oh, Curtis, I can get you an acting job, but we're going to need you to do all this training from our coaches and pay for all this training from the coaches that I provide from acting, and then we'll put you up for a film."
I'm trying to say this, bro.
Ridiculous. They're taking 20 grand off of him, and then that's nothing. Oh no, nothing comes from it. It's absolutely abhorrent. And you're not the only one around the country, Curtis, that this has happened to. It's disgusting.
It has to be, if you've got them credentials and there's no more credentials to get, you have to be in line to get somewhere, whether it's, like you said, academy in a top club or within, the leagues like League One, League Two, Championship, Premiership. You have to have what you getting your badges for then.
And also, what I'd like to say on this is, when I've applied for roles and then you don't get them, which is fine, they might be looking for a different manager. I've got no issues with that, none whatsoever, because everyone wants something different. But I think I deserve an explanation some of the times why I haven't been interviewed when I'm far more qualified than the person that gets the job. How that for me, then that's not fair. To get someone's CV delivered to you and they're outrageously more qualified than the person you give the job to, then for me, we have an issue there. I think I deserve an explanation of why I've not why I haven't got the job, why I haven't been interviewed. That's my issue. Why haven't I been interviewed when I'm grossly overqualified than the person that you've hired?
Mates at a table, mate. That's all it is. Just a load of mates, and he might not know a manager, but him who knows the manager. So go on, just get him in there. He'll do well. He's all right. Like that's how I said. It's football, mate. That's how it's run with players as well. If you're with a certain agent, you can go to certain clubs. If you've got the same agent if you're going to a club and the manager's got the same agent that you've got, that's it, mate. You're in.
It is. But I think, there's going to be so many people lost to football. I could be the next Bill Shankly. Who knows? Without opportunity, how are you ever going to know? You look at so many players that are falling out the game that have got so much to give, that when they talk about football, you sit down and talk about football with them, you listen and you're like, wow, this guy. And it doesn't have to be knowledge. Sometimes it's just passion. When they talk about passion about the game, you're like, I would play for him. I'm ready to get my boots on now. That is a manager, and there's so many people lost to the game with that because of these same reasons. I class myself as fortunate that I've had a spare 20 grand to chuck at trying to get an opportunity. There's so many people that fall out the game that haven't, so what if they spent their last 20 grand, sold this dream that you're going to get an opportunity, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, they've just hired Tim Smith, who's got his UEFA B, and I'm sat here with a pro license. I'm like, rare. Well, how can that be right?
Can't be right.
Like I said, I think you deserve an explanation of why you've not been interviewed if you're more qualified than the person that's got the job. It's only fair, isn't it?
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, looking at... Go on, Leah. Go on.
I don't know if you know this, but I had a stint of a manager at a club called Barnton, which ain't too far away from here. Yeah? And...
I bet that was chaos.
They weren't. They had fuck all. They was not known or anything before I went there. And my assistant was Andy Burgess. I don't know if you remember him, Curtis.
Yeah, I played him at Rushden. Good player.
He was there, yeah, with us, yeah. And we, probably from bottom of the table side to like pushing for playoffs and stuff and whatever and this, that, and the other. And the thing that made me say, oh, fuck this, I can't be arsed with this. Is a load of bollocks. I got pulled into the office, yeah? And when I got pulled into the office, Burgess was there. And when you can just sense that there's something wrong? Yeah? I've said, oh, fuck this, I'm not even going to start, but go on, I'll sit down and see what everyone's going to say. So he's come in now, and he's gone, the chairman's gone. I'm not, health-wise, I'm not well. I'm going to have to step down, and, I don't know who's going to come in and stuff, and, I'm going to have to pull away from football for a bit and blah, blah, blah. I'm looking over at Andy Burgess, and he's like this. He was kind of a nervous guy anyway, like quiet and whatever. So he's like this, looking around, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm sorry, man, whatever, and this, that, and the other. Yeah, it could be like fatal, and what I've got. And didn't even want to ask him what he had, to be honest. So, all right, cool, no problem. I'll just come away. It's not a problem. It's cool. Come away. Fucking fucked off to another club. Yeah, brought Burgess with him. His mate turned him into manager. Yeah, all because he just can't stand up like a man in my face and go, you know what, I'm going over here. I'm going to take my mate who's worked in this league for a bit and whatever and this, that, and the other. And Burgess is going to come with me and this, that, and the other. I had to find out through like internet and people saying, yeah, there's nothing wrong with him. He actually faked an illness.
Well, there's nothing wrong with him.
So he faked an illness rather than sack you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ian
what? I've been lucky in management. I've worked with some really good chairmen. I've never had a fallout with anybody in football. I've worked with some chairmen, really, really good ones, really supportive ones. I've really, really good results as manager where I've been, won things. And like I said, it's been really frustrating for me because, and you know what I find
has anyone ever faked their death to get you out of a club?
No, never, never.
It kills me.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of people say like, and Nighty'll understand this more than most. I've had a lot of people say to me, you know, you got to learn how to play the game. I'm like, no, I haven't. I've never played the game for 42 years, and I've done all right, thank you very much, just by being me. So I won't dance for anybody.
No way.
You know, I won't get on my knees for anybody. You know, I am who I am.
Relatable.
And I do what I do, and it is what it is, you know. And if I don't get an opportunity by being me, then I'd rather not get an opportunity, no. and I'm absolutely cool with that.
Listen, I don't get it. He's got all the coaching badges he needs. He's a British champion, knows about fitness and nutrition. He's motivational. He's got the bacon, egg, and mushroom BEM from the bloody Queen. What more has the fella got to do to get an opportunity? I'm baffled. Actually baffled by it. So if anyone's watching this, above step 7, I guess, 6, 5, 4, 3, dare I say, Division 2, Division 1, Championship, give the man a call.
Hey, well, the fact of the matter is, I'm qualified to work in every league in English football. So it is what it is.
Well, hopefully we can keep beating the drum and get Woodshak an opportunity. Imagine how great it would be if Woodshak got an opportunity with Knighty as his assistant. Oh, mate. So
that'd be carnage.
It's a documentary on its own. It's a documentary on its own, honestly. I'll be happy to document it.
I followed Curtis's, like, you know, when he was at certain clubs and whatever. Obviously, he tweets it into his timeline and stuff and whatever. And, you know, you could see they're winning games and doing stuff and whatever. Just not, like you say, to pay 20 grand to get your thing, to get all your badges and not being, I would just be fucking garbage, mental. But in hindsight, Curtis, I would say to you, listen, keep throwing in your name in there, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? When you get here at positions like up for grabs, just keep throwing your name in there, mate. Trust me, because you never know. Like, a person might just say, you know what, fuck it, come on, let's go. And then from there, it's like flipping rocket, mate. You can just go off from there. I wish I had them credentials, mate.
No is only a word. When you get used to the word no and rejection, it doesn't.
Listen, I know more than anybody that how frustrating it must be, mate. Trust me, I've been not in the same position with managers, but in the same positions, like, you know, people saying no, and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. But just keep knocking on the door, man. You know more than anyone. If you persist at certain things, you're gonna get through, bro. Like, you should just keep front. You've got it there, bro. Like, it's not like you ain't managed any teams before or whatever, and this, that, and the other. You've done it all, bro. So I just think you should just, like, you know what I mean? Premiership, you're flipping all your credentials. For you to go into a club now and they say they got Curtis, everybody knows. Everybody knows, you know? Do you know what I mean? It's bringing attention to them, like, do you know what I mean, as well? Like, I don't know how chairmans don't. It's like when I went to Barton, like, they weren't nobody, but as soon as I went there and started tweeting it on my social media, like, everybody, do you know what I mean? Started getting a few fans in and whatever and this, that, and the other. But like I said, your credentials, mate, keep knocking on the door.
All right. Well, listen, the Curtis Woodshak Appreciation Society is going to end for this week. I just want to thank you both for your work on the show today. It's always a great pleasure. Thank you for humouring me and sharing some of your exciting stories and insights.
I've enjoyed it today.
Hopefully we'll get some topical stuff happen this week and we'll have another controversial one next week. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, guys.